Well, good morning everyone. I thought that we would do a upper orchard walk video this morning. It's been a little bit since I've given you one. Give you an update on the fruit, upon the fruit set. See if we've got anything that needs to be thinned, upon some of the grafts that I've done this year. Show you some failures. Show you some things that are working out very well. We're not going to have as nice of a fruit set this year as we had hoped for. Our crazy weather here in East Tennessee sometimes gets a little wild when it comes to getting our fruit to set, and then sometimes we can even lose fruit due to it. And this was one of those years. We had a great fruit set, but too many cold snaps, too many frosts, too many freezes has hurt the majority of our crop, but we're thankful for what we're going to have. So let's take a look at what we got this morning. You know, the way we look at it is some fruit is better than no fruit. We've got just under 6 acres here. We'll call it 5 3/4 of an acre. So this upper orchard started out really as just our personal orchard, and it has morphed into way more than what we ever thought it would. But we thoroughly enjoy it. Anyway, let's get started. This, of course, if you've watched our previous videos, this is 2 of our hedgerows. Got a couple of trees that's going to need to be replaced this year. Looks like we have no fruit whatsoever on our Granny Smith. I thought we had a couple of fruitlets on this. Maybe I'm overlooking them. Then again, maybe we had some drop. If there's fruit there, I'm not spotting it. So what we had has probably dropped. The old Stark didn't set any fruit this year. That's the largest tree in the hedgerow. I've had to cut this tree back twice, trying to control it. Okay, here we go. We'll start with some fruit here. This is a rusty coat. You can see for the glare. Very nice, very nice. We've got just a handful on this tree. This one's got, William's got 4 on it, so that'll have to be thinned. Got another one right there. We've got a couple over here. Now let's see, this is where 2 trees meet. Let's see which one's got the fruit on it. Okay, that is the rusty coat also. So we've got a few more apples there. This should be, yep, that is our Grafting. It set all of its fruit in the top of the tree this year. You can probably see how big. Glare is horrible this morning. But right there. Right there's another one. Be our first Grafting's off of our trees. Right here we have a little Bramley seedling with several on it. Right here we got one that, little fruitlet that didn't make it. looking fairly healthy. We've got several on our Bramley seedling. Very excited. We got some plumcocolio damage right there. I'm not sure if you can spot that, but right there. We don't spray any chemicals, and we limit how much we do spray. So we do get some damage. I would rather have the damage than to eat the chemicals. This may be, we got 2 Bramley seedling. I'm not sure if this is the other one. No, this is our honey cider. See, we got 2 fruitlets there. Looks like that's all we've got. This limb obviously is not in the ideal spot going straight up, but this will make great scion wood for this year coming. This little tree I did, it was a rootstock that the variety had died. So I did some grafting onto it, and we grafted a emperor. And you can see here the emperor took. I've got a good foot of growth on that emperor graft. Over here we have a red wine sap. We're starting to get some pretty good growth on it. I'm actually, I don't know, I may leave it. I was thinking about taking that off, but I think I'll leave it for now. Down here, well, let's go over here first. Here we have a York. You see the York is doing quite well also. I've got a good foot of growth on that also. Here we have a, should be a mountain boomer. Yep, that's our mountain boomer. Good foot of growth on that, looks real good. A little less growth here, but that's a very small graft. This is an old nonpareil. So I've got 6 inches of growth from the graft. And right here we got a maiden blush, looking real good. We got 2 nice limbs growing out. We got a foot of growth there and maybe 18 inches over here. We have a crow egg. This is supposed to be a southern crow egg. I couldn't get confirmation on it, so we got it labeled as probably a southern. We'll find out. You can see my graft right there, if the wind will cooperate. Good growth on that. I think every one of my grafts have took on this tree. And this is a hazen. Hazen's getting some upward growth habit. I may have to weight that down a little bit. This is a St. Edmunds russet. We've got 2 seedlings right there. Fruitlets, I said seedlings, fruitlets. And this next one is a St. Edmunds russet also. I really like that tree, obvious since I've given it 2 spots. But we've got a small fruitlet forming there. And I'm wanting to say there is one more on this tree. Oh, up here actually we got 2. Let's walk around the other side, get a better view maybe. Sorry about the sun. And right there we have 2. Looking very good, very good. Alright, let's go over to the one that I'm currently working on. This hedgerow is 1 year younger than the one we just looked at. But it's doing quite well. You can see I'm putting up some new posts. Got one more laying on the ground there. It's got to go in for the center, and then finish stretching my cable. Okay, this is our little cameo. And I think, yep, Cameo had several. We got several clustered right here together. And I think that was all on the Cameo. Oh, nope, there's one more. Here we have a red pippin. And this red pippin we eat some fruit off of last year, one apple actually, and it was absolutely amazing. Got quite a bit of insect damage right here. Trying to get it in focus for you. You can see all that. It's actually ruined that fruitlet, so we will go ahead and pull that one off. And here we got several fruitlets. Over here we got a couple of more. Got a couple more over here. And I will let this tree have most of these because it's a pretty good structure and it's going to be supported. I will be picking off the ones of severe damage. There was another nice one on the end of that limb. We didn't need that one, so there's no need of making the tree work double duty for it. But I would say that tree's got 24 fruitlets on it. We'll probably let it set about 20 of those. Here we have a golden russet. It's got one apple. Actually, it's got two. And we won't let it have no more than two. That probably knocked that one down to one, as a matter of fact. Oh, here we have an Alexander. Our Alexander has some really nice looking fruit started on it. Several of them. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. Had a little one here I just went ahead and plucked off. I don't see that we got anything on our black twig. Nothing on that honey cider. This is a St. Edmund's russet. One right there. I think that is the only one on that tree. Sad, sad, sad. This little peach set the majority of its fruit on one limb. I am pretty sure this is a Blaze Prince peach. See if we can find the tag. I'm probably wrong. Here we go. Yes, that is a Blaze Prince. We're going to go ahead and move this tag because it's starting to girdle the tree a little bit. You wouldn't believe these plastic tags can girdle these trees, but they sure can. Here we got a mummy, little fruitlet that didn't make it. We'll remove that from the tree. As you can see, we got a little bit of insect damage on this one. Don't know if it's because it's on the corner or what, but they tend to like this one. But it's got a good really the first year for fruit on this tree. It would have fruited last year, but we had so much frost, cold snaps. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably a little over a half a dozen fruits on that tree. Not a great set, but we'll enjoy the ones we get. And I don't remember what this one is. And I don't really see that it's got any fruit on it. It's a peach, of course. It had some. We may have lost it in the cold weather. They get a little bit bigger, they'll show up. And this is some grafts that I did. This tree was rootstock. The variety had died. And so we have started regrafting. I left this limb on so that it would use some of the vigor out of the roots instead of trying to push everything through my grafts that can blow the graft out. Oh, here we have some plums. See if we can get in here to where we can see them. Not many. But we do got a few. That little guy ain't gonna make it. That one's looking real good. Like I said, we got just a few. There's a handful set on this tree. Little guy didn't make it either. Yep. Got some more down here. Yeah, we got plum cuculio damage taking out the plums. And we expect to get damage. It's part of it. Like I said, we don't want no chemicals. Probably could have done another organic spray this year. I got one round on. Really needed 2 or 3, but should be a nectarine here. Definitely got some that didn't make it. We got a few looking pretty good. But here's a real nice one. Be exciting. This is our June Princess nectarine. See, here we got just a mess. I will need to get out here and do some thinning because some of these ain't gonna make the cut. We got lots of insect damage here. Unfortunate. I guess I'm going to spray a little heavier next year. Of course, like I said, with organic sprays. Yep, see, we already got fruit drop. That's a shame. All because of plum cuculios. They just really are no fun. No fun whatsoever, folks. This, I think, is our Arctic Fantasy nectarine. This tree was loaded last year. It was the only tree that set a big fruit last year. And I think we got a very light set this year on it. We had a little bit, and the last frost really got it at the wrong stage. I pruned this tree way back also because it had some fungal issues last year because of overcrowding in the tree. But it's looking much healthier this year. Unfortunately, I don't know if we'll get one piece of fruit off that tree. Out here we got some peaches. Like I said, fairly light fruit set. I wanted to give y'all an update this morning. Let you see what we've got this year and what we don't got. Here I did some grafting on this was a Stanley plum that didn't make it, so grafted it over to multiple varieties this year. Few of these peach trees across the front of the upper orchard had a pretty good little fruit set. This is a late red, I think, and definitely got some plumcots damage, but we got a real nice fruit set on this tree. At least for this year. You know, we would have loved to have more, but we take what we can get. Same thing here. This tree was bought at a nursery and it died, and they replaced it. It's supposed to have been I think an Ozark Premier plum, and when they replaced it, I think they gave us an ornamental plum. They make that variety in ornamental and fruiting, and we're supposed to have a fruiting one, but I think they replaced it with an ornamental. So it's been in the ground about 7 years. 2,000 or 3,000 blooms every year, never a piece of fruit. So this year was the second year for me starting to graft it over. Last year I did quite a few grafts, so now it has 10 varieties of stone fruit on it, and so now it's just going to be fun. This little guy has never been healthy. We bought it, thought it was going to be fun. It was a fruit cocktail tree, had 4 varieties in it, and first year we lost one variety. This is the third year we've lost another variety. So we're down to 2 varieties on this tree. So it'll probably get cut off next year, and I'll graft something on top of it and do away with it, because it's just ugly. It isn't growing. It's just pathetic. Well, here we have some apples. This one is a Virginia Beauty. It set several, but only one has made it. It's a Virginia Beauty. Let's see. You'd think I could remember these. Okay, this is our Mutsu. Looks like we got some bird damage. Definitely some plumcots damage. But it's got a good 10 or 12 fruitlets on it. Pretty good sized tree. Nothing on this tree. This is one of our plumcots, or a pluary. This could be a pluary. Yep, that is a sweet treat pluary. We had a good fruit set, which we know that when we plant these, that this is not the ideal climate for them. So it's probably only going to be fruit every 3 or 4 years, and that's all right. Otherwise, it's just grass to mow. I don't think we got any fruit on this. I don't see a drop of fruit on that one either. Like I said, we started out good on stone fruit this year. We have figured out though, while working, and your microclimates on your property are very important. We have figured out we've got a spot behind the barn, figured out by accident. We planted one peach tree back there. It's the same variety as a half a dozen we got on the front of the property here, but we didn't know where to put it, so we put it out there. And we found out that micro environment is much better for peaches. Because again, this year, just like last year, that peach tree back there has 10 times, if not 20 times, the fruit on it that these up front do this year. Now, in a good year, the ones up front do great. I mean, we have a way larger fruit set than we can handle, more than we can eat, which makes us very happy. But again, this year, same thing back there, much more fruit. It's consistent. We got some apples here. And I would have to consult the book. We don't have a tag on this, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, a little over half a dozen apples on it. That'll be the first year for this tree to fruit. I just can't remember what this tree is. We're trying to tag them all as we go. This one you can see I've had to do some supporting. This tree has always had a habit of wanting to lay over. So we have tied it up and trying to help it. This tree, let's see, yeah, this tree we actually don't know what it is. We are hoping this is a Lodi, but I'm betting it's not. I see some red. So that is not going to be a Lodi. We lost a Lodi early on. Don't know where we planted it, so it may have succumbed to deer damage. But I've got just a couple of apples on that tree. Had a lot of blooms, but we only got 2 apples. Actually, we got 3 apples. I got 3. There's another one hiding. This should be my Macintosh tree. We had some fruit on this tree, but let's see if I can spot any. And just a couple. We've got a couple there. Not many, not many. We was hopeful for a real nice apple year this year. This is a blue pearmain. Not one fruit. This is one of our honey crisp. It's finally starting to take some shape. Slow growing tree, slow growing tree. Got some fruit back there on that tree. Got some there. Gotta get in there and mow and weed eat this. Running behind on my weed eating. This may be my Liberty tree. Good looking apple. Good looking apple. This tree's had some rough growth habit. I'm getting it under control now, finally. This is an Asopus Spitzenberg. No apples. Oh, nope, here's my Liberty tree. And it has got quite a few. You can see some real good looking fruit here on the end of the limb. We got a few more there, not quite as good looking. We got several up here. So she's looking good, looking good. Very happy, very happy. I got a few more out here on this limb. There's our bees. Working this morning. Tomorrow we got to open them. We'll probably have a video on that. Let's see, this should be a gala tree with some, I've done some extra grafting in the tree, but this is a gala. Real good strong tree. Did some grafting on this gala. Didn't really need an extra gala here, so I've added Prairie Spy, which looks real good. Nice graft going on the Prairie Spy. That's all this year's graft. A smokehouse. We've got one other smokehouse on the property. A Morgan. My daughter, one of my daughter's name is Morgan, so we thought it'd be cool to have a Morgan right by the house. Let's see, and down here we have a leather jacket. Graft's looking real good on that. Overall, this tree is doing very well. Next year I'll probably graft a few more limbs over. We'll leave the top of the tree in gala, and the bottom will all get turned into other stuff. Did some grafting on this tree last year. This is another gala. I've got a old-fashioned limber